all night, and for many in this building, this feels like the end. But Leroy and Cerrone, they've been here before. Leroy lurking, eyes locked in, and he pulls it loose. He's got the steal with 5 seconds left. He looks up, finds Cerrone. Cerrone catches, steps into it. A 3 for the win. He hit it. Cerrone from downtown. Leroy to Cerrone. They have done it again. They've done it.
I needed that. I really needed that. I don't know about you guys out there. I've been feeling really tired. Really tired. But I needed that intro to just get us going. So now I'm awake. I'm ready to go. Cerrone, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm a little tired myself. Got in a little late last night, but I'm good.
Yeah. I saw that you got in a little bit late, and I see why, and we definitely got to talk about that later on. I don't want to give it away. That's kind of like a little tease or whatever. But I saw what you saw last night, and we're going to have to talk about it soon. The number here is 617-779-0985. Before we get going, y'all know the deal. We got to do the music of the day. Cerrone, this one came from your heart, from your soul. So I'm going to fall back, man, if you could introduce the music of the day.
Last weekend after the Bills game, people were down and out. Celtics had a 2-game losing streak. People are feeling some type of way going into the holidays, feeling a little tight and a little stressed out. And you mentioned something about a song last week that made you want to skate. And I said, you know what? I think we're going to skate into this weekend. We're going to let loose a little bit. We're going to feel good about the weekend. And we're going to skate our way into this holiday week coming up and to this beautiful football weekend. So the theme today, we are going roller skating. We're taking you, the listeners, we going skating. We're going to have a good time. We're going to take it back 70s, 80s, 90s when skating was king. We're going to skate through the weekend.
When you're living off the wall. Man, I feel like going skating right now. Shout outs to Shavu's. What's the other one? Oh, is it Roller World?
That what it was?
I believe
there was a couple of them.
There was a couple of them, but Roller World was one of them. A lot of people would go out there. I believe it's still there. And of course, Shavu's. My God. So like you said, today's music is dedicated to roller skating because we got to have some fun because we got to loosen up a little bit. You know, you got people talking about Josh McDaniels might need to leave and all off of one loss.
One loss.
The misery is unbelievable. Speaking of misery, I've been watching some of this Texas A&M Miami or the U playoff college game. What a miserable game.
It's windy, man. It's like 30-mile-an-hour winds. They can't throw the ball.
No one can do anything. And it got me thinking on the ride in. And Cerrone, you know Jonathan. Jonathan's here in the building. We were driving in. And
what up, Kenna?
There you go. Who, by the way, has one of the most phenomenal stories that maybe hopefully one day he'll be willing to come on here and share. It's truly just it's a miracle. It's a blessing. But we were talking about it, and it was like, when it comes, I love the elements being a part of sports.
Mm-hmm.
But wind might be my least favorite. I love the snow. I think visually it looks phenomenal. Rain is where it starts getting a little like I don't know.
Not on natural grass. Natural grass and rain with the mud is football.
Okay.
That's football.
I'm okay with games being in crazy, ridiculous heat. That's cool. But the wind, if you look at today's game, like you said, it's still, I believe it's 0-0. It's already the second half, and it's just been an ugly game.
I think it's been, 4 missed field goals or something like that?
Yeah. One was blocked. I feel bad for the U's. I forget the name of the kid, the kick return, the punt return.
Oh, he tripped him up?
He tripped. That might have been enough if he had scored that touchdown. That might have been enough to seal the game the way this game is going. So, I just wanted to put that out there, man. It's just unbelievable. What time is it? It's 2:09. We got a lot to talk about, including some boxing.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I guess we got to call it that. You got the Patriots, you got the Ravens coming up, the Celtics. D. White putting on a show last night. JB too. JB and somebody else also doing some great things for the community. We got to talk about that. Peyton Pritchard. Just quite a few things. Y'all bear with me because the brother is burnt out. And I don't mean smoking or anything like. I'm talking about tired. 617-779-0985. Last night, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul goes down in the 6th round, gets his jaw cracked.
Yeah.
Goes down in the 6th round, and I guess the discussion is, Cerrone, is this the moment boxing died or the moment that the Jake Paul hype did? What's your thoughts on it? Because everybody's talking about it this morning. That's all I see on social media is clips from that fight.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you all got suckered again. I don't care if it was on Netflix or not. You got suckered.
Not me, because I didn't watch. I refused to.
I went out last night, and we'll get into that, but caught the very last second and was like, yeah, I figured this would happen. But anything other than that, you can tell would absolutely be scripted. But yeah, I think this is the death of the Jake Paul trying to be a boxer thing. He milked it for probably made $250 million doing this. A YouTuber, Disney kid turned YouTuber, used his YouTube status to basically get you to watch him fight celebrities on YouTube for money. And he worked his way up till he got a deal with Netflix, had 2 big fights on Netflix. And we kept jumping in, waiting to see him get knocked out or waiting to see whoever he's fighting, see what they were going to do. But we kept showing up, and we shouldn't have showed up the first time. Well, when he not Nate Robinson, he knocked out. We should have stopped then. This is the equivalent to paying back in the day. You remember the dude Butterbean?
Oh yeah, yep.
I think Butterbean would be Jake Paul for a person, but Butterbean, this would have been like you paying $50 to watch Butterbean fight Larry Holmes in 1998. Like this is what it was.
Right.
This is what he's been. And we wouldn't have done it because we would have still been watching Roy Jones and everybody else in boxing. But because boxing was on life support, we just fell into it. And him getting knocked out, Joshua getting a massive payday, and doing us all a solid and ending this was what we needed. And hopefully, boxing can stop embarrassing themselves.
Thank you.
And build the sport back up, get it back to the way it was, cut back on how many champions you have, and use this as a reset button to get people back into boxing. If not, they're going to keep going over to UFC, which is dominating combat sports right now. So hopefully this Jake Paul thing is over. He's made his money. He got his face broken. I saw a close-up of him after the fight, and they were looking into his mouth. And you can see with his teeth, like the row of teeth, like the way it's supposed to go, was like an old fence. It was just bent in, and it was like his face was destroyed. And it was like, he wasn't faking. He really did get his face broken, but he ran for his life the whole time. He was grabbing my man by the legs, and he looked like he was 100 pounds smaller and a foot shorter. It was bad. I mean, but I'm glad that it's over and he got knocked out the way he did. And this should be the end of it. We don't need no more of this celebrity boxing match.
No, 617-779-0985. Call us up. Did you see the fight last night? Did you refuse to see the fight? I refused to watch it. I'm kind of like with you, Cerrone. I'm tired of being a sucker for this stuff. I got excited when he was taking on Mike Tyson. And you're sitting there, you're like, man, this ain't even for real. This ain't legit.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson over here holding punches.
It was Rocky versus Thunderlips, man. It was just fake.
Come on. And I'm not going to get in here and try to sound all big and bad because I'm not. I've been a sucker for boxing since June 2005. I had to look it up. That was when Mike Tyson quit in the ring when he took on Kevin McBride.
Yeah.
And I remember saying that. I was at my uncle's house. I said, that's it. I'm done. I invested too much. I was pulling for Mike Tyson. This man literally quit in the ring. I said, I'm done with boxing. So for 20 years, I've been going back and forth like a man in a bad toxic relationship but can't let go. I keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Tyson, Paul, that was the nail in the coffin for me. I said, I'm not doing it this time There's also word that there's supposed to be a Mike Tyson
Floyd Mayweather.
I'm not doing
They're
it.
all doing the same thing. It's like, yo, let's get on Netflix. It's the easy way for us to make $100 million and get a workout in.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I wouldn't be shocked if last night's fight did some crazy numbers, and we're going to hear about it. Number one, a lot of people do have Netflix, not everybody, but it was pretty simple. You just log on, and there it is. Yeah. But you're not getting me. You're not getting my dime. You're not getting my time anymore. And so, Cerrone, I'm with you. If last night represents a restart for the world of boxing, then good. Hopefully, we'll get back to what it used to be. And Cerrone, we got to be honest with this too. We can't sit here and act like boxing has been a stand-up sport. Yeah, we know there's some stuff.
They did this to themselves,
right? But this stuff has been blatant. Like, hey, we're not really serious. You guys are going to be suckers, and you're going to watch this, and you're going to pay big money. You're going to spend time. I refused to do it last night. Phone lines are going. Y'all want to talk about Jake Paul? Y'all want to talk about the fight last night? Hit us up, 617-779-0985. It's Leroy and Cerrone, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And even if he does land his best shot at the moment, not that much is going to happen. And it almost, there's a left hook. And down goes Paul.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Mamma mia! It may have taken a little bit longer than everyone expected, but AJ gets the KO.
Sports Hub 617-779-0985. The fight last night, I refused to watch. I woke up this morning to see the results, and Cerrone, I haven't smiled like that since my wife walked down the aisle. Before that, it was when my daughter graduated from college. I mean, I just looked at my phone and shook my head with a huge smile, and a tear almost fell. Because it was like, about time. I'm sick of seeing this fake, phony mess and being a sucker for it. Yes, I have been. I have been a sucker for these types of fights.
It's not just you,
years.
man. Millions of us.
And I stood 10 toes down last night and said, I will not. I almost watched it this morning after waking up and seeing the results. And I said, no, they are not getting a dime or my time. I refuse.
Yeah. And you had a magnificent playoff game last night with Oklahoma and Alabama at the same time.
True.
So it's like you shouldn't even have clicked over and went over to that. Why would you turn off something that's real and major to go watch a scripted event? Even I know you got Netflix and it's free. No, it's $25 a month you pay for that fight. And those fights are the reason why Netflix is $25 a month, because they don't have pay-per-view, so they got to get their money one way or the other. And with these pro fights, this is what's increasing the cost of your Netflix service.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Once again, the number is 617-779-0985. Mike in the truck. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
Going on?
I just want to say I was not looking forward to this fight at all because I didn't even know there was a fight. I woke up this morning and I heard this. I think if Jake Paul wants to make a mockery from this sport, he should have his head knocked off. I'm glad I saw that this morning. You guys have a great day.
You too. See?
You too.
A lot of people woke up. And I think that's part of, obviously, the popularity with Jake Paul fights is people do want to see him lose. And that was part of why I was tuning in before. But then when you tune in, you see it's not on the up and up. It's like, what's the point? Don't play me like that. Don't do me like that. 11:30 at night, please.
He knows that's why we're watching. So to keep us coming, he almost loses, then he wins at the end, a decision or something like that, and then he does it again. Oh yeah, he's gonna lose this time, and then he played us for I don't know how many fights, and he made so much money, and he used the YouTube model, the influencer thing to he come in on a tank and all that stuff, and we bought it. But who are the people that spent thousands upon thousands of dollars to go to that arena to watch that fight?
I don't know. Gullible people who
Why would you do that? Or these influencers that are paid to go?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
They want to be in the place to be. Haven't said that in a while. You haven't heard that in hip hop. Everybody in the place to be. I remember they used to rap like that. But you got people who want to be, seen and be a part of it. And then you have a lot of people who are still gullible and think it's straight up. Let's go to Ralph in Cranston. Ralph.
Hey guys, you're asking who went there, who actually bought this thing. People that want to see him get beat. This was marketed perfectly. Now, I'm an old-time boxing fan. I think it's sacred. I hate MMA. I won't watch it. But in my days, you didn't get somebody down and keep punching them in the back of the head. Now, I've had my best picture of all my memorabilia is my father taking a picture with Jack Dempsey, the great late Jack in the 60s. Isaiah Thomas was he was on the show or whatever last night. He was at the Garden. I sat with Floyd Mayweather when he found out in Florida that I was in the immigration business. And I watched that fourth quarter because he's best friends. Floyd and Isaiah Thomas are best friends. And it's so funny because you can't get near this guy. He travels with 40 people. And it was so funny. I absolutely love boxing. Growing up, I remember as a young kid, the Ali Frazier trilogy. This was a joke. And you know what? It was an embarrassment to the sport. I agree with you. I remember years ago there was a comedian that was doing this wrestling thing. He was on Saturday Night Live. And finally, when the guy broke his neck, people were saying, you know what? You just trashed the sport. You know, it is a sport. And it's so funny because I agree with you guys, too. Good riddance with this guy. You know, you fought someone, and God bless Anthony, because this guy who beat him, it probably could have beat him, stopped this fight a little earlier.
Appreciate it, Ralph.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I'm not sure it's over. I'm not sure it's over for Jake Paul. I could see him saying, you know what, I want a rematch. We're going to do a rematch.
And they're going to pay him, Joshua or somebody else, $100 million, and they're not going to say no. Joshua's at the end of his career, kind of on the downslide. Once he lost to Fury, it never really was the same for him. And Fury was calling him out for last week, saying you shouldn't even have took this fight. But he understands the money, and you got family and all those things. But it's like, you're ruining the game for everybody else. Yeah. Like, let's build boxing back up. That way we can build the paydays up, and you don't have to fight YouTube stars on Netflix to try and get a good payday. If you didn't make a mockery of boxing, guys would be getting $100 million for major fights again. And unfortunately, the days are gone. And when the caller mentioned MMA, a part of the reason the pool of talent in boxing isn't what it was even when we watched in the 90s, De La Hoya and Shane Mosley and all the names that were back then, Felix Trinidad. You don't see that anymore because the fighters themselves are like, man, I'm not dealing with boxing anymore. I just go to MMA. I get in the ring. I don't get hit as much. MMA looks brutal, but in a good boxing match, middleweight guys, they can hit 200-300 times. MMA, you get knocked out, ain't counting. It's over. And a lot of the fighters now are going MMA because they get more money. They don't take the same beating, and they get in and out, and they're more stars. They're on the video games, UFC 5 and all this stuff. But boxing is gotten so bad that they can't get the talent to come back over, especially when you're promoting YouTube and Netflix fights. I mean, they have to hit the reset button and start over and find a new talent pool, find a way to get boxing back in the minds of the public. Even back, think about Leroy, when we were kids, we used to watch boxing on Saturday mornings. Yeah, ABC Wire World of Sports. We could watch a good fight. Now we got to pay for everything, and I think people are done with it.
I wrote a poem. Can I read it real quick? Y'all think if you're watching on YouTube Live, I wrote a poem. There once was a fighter named Jake Paul. He thought he was the stuff until he took a fall. Anthony Joshua wasn't having that mess, so he punched him in the face and broke Paul's jaw. The end. Let's go back to the phones. Dave and Weymouth. What's up, Dave?
Hey, guys. Yeah, so the fight kind of went the way I expected. I mean, the thing with Josh was just so much bigger that even like a jab would wear him down. But since this is probably the only time I'll ever get to talk boxing on Sports Hub, with Terrence Crawford retiring earlier this week, I need a new favorite boxer. And if you watched last night, Alicia Baumgartner, who fought in the undercard, might be my new favorite boxer. She was pushing real hard to get 3-minute rounds, and she's a good action fight, so it might be her. And by the way, real quick, can I give you guys a music suggestion for a future show?
Go ahead.
Sure.
What about all-time best cover songs?
Got you. I'm going to write that down right now.
No problem.
We appreciate it. The thing is, he mentioned the undercard, and I'm pretty sure there were a lot of great fights. The problem is, I know for me and people like me, I'm not going to see them because
I'm not watching the main event.
I'm not going to watch the main event.
Yeah.
They screwing up with the main event. I'm sorry. Jake Paul, get your money. Paul family, get your money. But I'm not trying to see no setup type stuff for boxing. And if I know the main event is that way, I'm not going to check out the undercard. And I'm going to miss out on some great talent, but that's a part of the business. Come on, y'all.
And Baumgartner, as good as she is and as popular as she is, boxing is so in a bad place right now. She's not getting the shine that she deserves. And you better hope you don't lose her to MMA, because the minute she goes UFC, she will be a superstar. They promote their female fighters. They put them on video game covers. They put them in movies. They do they're in Michelob commercials. They're everywhere. And you just pray that she stays a boxer and doesn't go into UFC because she's feeling like she's missing out on an opportunity to really make more money and to really boost her career. It's unfortunate, but that's where boxing is now.
Let's take one more call before we go to break. Brian in Braintree. What's up, Brian?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Love your show. Irish Kevin McBride beat Mike Tyson in 2005.
Yep.
And but the pre-fight press conference is the funniest thing. Rich Cappiello was promoting it, and the back and forth between Mike Tyson. Oh, that grease ball over there, and there you go.
And I was hyped up for that fight, and for that man, for Mike Tyson, as crazy as that man was and is, for him to say, it really wasn't in me.
But I saw that I was getting beat on. I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
When did you recognize that? At what part of the fight?
I don't know. Early into the fight. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
I threw stuff at the TV.
Man, if you'll give me my $100 back.
I was like, you let me down, Mike. While the fight is going on, Cerrone, I'm standing in front of the TV like, come on, Mike. Come on. I'm sweating. Veins are popping. And then you quit and say you shouldn't even have been in the ring. It broke my heart. And I said I was done with boxing then. And then for the next 20 years, I kept getting suckered back over to check things out.
Yo, who was the dude?
What's that?
Who's the dude that fought Lennox Lewis and broke down crying?
I don't remember.
It was a big championship fight. All of them a call. Yep. He stood over in the corner, his face twisted up. I said, no, wait.
Boxing,
no way.
Boxing is so much better than that. It's so much better.
It is.
Listen,
the sweet science.
The sweet science. On the other side, we're going to continue this conversation because people are calling in. Plus, Cerrone, I got to mention something about the coverage of the college football playoffs. So, if Jake Paul was suckering us because of the hype, let me just say this. There are media members trying to sucker us over a certain conference. I'll tell you about it next. 985 The Sports Hub.
You're listening. Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hear us at 98.5 FM right here in Boston and Greater Boston and throughout the New England region. Also, check out the app. You can also go to 985thesportshub.com, and we are on YouTube Live. We were talking about the fight last night. I don't even feel right saying the names.
The fight.
The fight.
The tussle.
Thanks be to God. And I don't mean this in like a malicious way, but when you're fighting, things can happen like this. I'm just glad Jake Paul got his jaw broken, knocked out. Enough with the nonsense. I love boxing. I don't consider myself an expert on boxing. I still play Fight Night. Stop playing. I still play Fight Night. I love a good boxing match. I've even taken boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this to us anymore. What is that? Don't have influencers into the ring and have them winning matches as if we're stupid. Thank God that happened last night.
But here's what makes it bad, though, Leroy. You have a lot of people who are social media. They're doing debate shows nationally, whatever, who would legit saying Jake Paul is one of the best fighters of this era. These are things that were being said. And when you hear that, it makes me question all their opinions about everything about this era of sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you just, it's a popularity contest. Well, everybody's watching. So obviously, this is the best thing. This is the best thing I've ever seen. It's like, no, it's not. Stop lying to the public. And, you know, just like you say, you're not a boxing historian or, you know, an expert. No, I'm not either. But I appreciate the ones who are and the people who dig in. Mm-hmm. George, I know you big into boxing like that. I don't know it. I don't know the game like that. But don't disrespect those hardcore fans and try and gaslight them into believing that Jake Paul was a legit fighter. If you want to prove he's a legit fighter, you should have let him go up, work his way up the ranks.
Yep.
And people would have paid $25 a pay-per-view to watch him in a real fight working his way up the ranks.
Yeah.
Okay, he's on ESPN and he works his way up. He's an undercard for a big fight. If he actually worked his way up to earn a championship match, people will respect it more. They'd pay more money and they will treat the sport totally different and respect him totally different. But no, you just lied to us for the last 4 or 5 years and just told us he was the best ever. And we're like, wait, what? And people believe in it. Younger generation believe in it because they didn't see anything before the influencer in sports.
Wow. 617-779-0985 is the number. Please call in. We got Tim in Bridgewater. Tim.
Hey, guys. Love your show. You guys keep it real, which is what I love about it the best. And I'm just going to say, I grew up in Bridgewater. Huge fan of Marvin Hagler. Hagler Hearn's best fight I ever saw. But when Hagler, quote-unquote, lost to Sugar Ray Leonard, that's when I quit boxing.
Good Lord. He took it back, too. And I remember.
People remember that.
That was so to the young people out there, there was this thing called VCRs. And you could record and watch stuff that off of TV. That fight, Sugar Ray and Hagler, that fight was circulating around the neighborhood. If you had the tape,
you got to see this. They would just come over with the tape.
Man, and to be honest, I remember watching that fight over and over and over again. Not that we knew exactly what we were seeing and the technical side of things. We just knew that there were two guys in the ring going at it, using strategy, and you just wanted to learn more and more and more about it. Mm-hmm. And then we get to this time, and it's just like, yo, it's all a joke. Let's go to John in the car. John.
Yeah, I just want to preface this conversation by saying I'm not a Jake Paul fan at all, and I'm really happy that he got knocked out and got his jaw broken because that's what he needed. That's what needed to have happen. But what a lot of people are forgetting is that you remember Tuesday night fights on ESPN?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know those people. They're making $10,000, and they only made $10,000. All right, Jake Paul is paying these people on these undercards $100,000.
Well, see, I hear what you're saying, John, but there's two different conversations going on at the same time. Number one, can boxing do better with promoting and paying boxers? Absolutely. But why does it have to be an influencer, Jake Paul? Why does he have to be a part of this thing and make it seem cheap? And like again,
WWE, the whole thing, which his brother is a major part of.
We're not going to sit here and act like boxing has been on the up and up for decades. Probably since the beginning of boxing, there's always been something. Yeah. Just don't blatantly put it in our face and then tell us to believe it. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to spend my dime, and I'm not going to spend any time to watch the product.
Like we said earlier, I don't blame Joshua or Mike Tyson or any of these other guys for taking these fights because he's paying them $100 million.
I kind of do, though. Like, get the money, but why not just say, hey, but it has to be a legit fight?
Because he won't sign. He'll get somebody else. They know he'll just move on and grab somebody else. He'll go get on, what's his name that everybody thought was going to be the man, the boxer, that Fury done knocked out 3 times. Oh, what's his name? Wilder. He would have gave it to Wilder. Wilder would have took the money. And he would have went out there all intense with the mask and all this stuff. And we would have ate it up like a WWE fight.
Yeah.
But he probably would have knocked Paul out in the first round because he just that's the kind of guy he is. But
I was never a believer in Wilder. If you drop the ER in his name, what is it? It's wild. He was a wild. He
skinny legs.
He just punched wild like somebody from around the way. He wouldn't protect himself. It was just legs all weak. Like he was. I wasn't feeling him.
The biggest the thing that lost me with him was when Fury beat him, and they tried to use the excuse that he had bricks in his gloves. Like, yo, he got something in his gloves. Look at the way the glove is bending. It was like, yo.
But that proves our point. Boxing just isn't the same. It's not like it used to be. And in order for it to get back to where it should be, it needs to be legitimate. I'm sorry, Jake Paul being the face of boxing is not it. Let's go to Robin.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad look. Let's go to Rob in Situate. Rob.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Great show. I got 2 things. Favorite boxing announcer, Larry Merchant.
Okay.
Guy was always hammered and good listen. And then if you viewers want to go back and watch a great fight, Ward Gotti 3. That was.
Yep. That sounds like an album.
That Ward Gotti is the greatest. That's
Ward
the greatest.
Gotti 3. Dropping soon. One more before we go to break.
They went at it, though.
One more before we go to break. Pat in the car. Pat.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Listen, I'm in my late 50s. I remember watching that Hagler-Leonard fight with my friends. Hagler did not lose that fight. I mean, obviously, they had it out for Leonard. They loved Leonard. They did not. It was either a money grab or something. But when you watch that fight, I'm not going to say what my background is with boxing, but I knew Marvin personally, and he did not lose that fight. He won the fight. He lost it by, obviously the judges gave it to Leonard, but there's no way. And
appreciate it, Pat. Pat, we got to go. We're up against it. Thank you guys for the calls. When we get back, I still got to bring up something about college football, the playoffs. It's ticking me off. I'm in a ticked off mood today, despite the roller skating music. Hit us up, 617.
Leroy and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Victory formation for Ty Simpson and the Crimson Tide, and a victory is exactly what we've gotten. California, here we come. Alabama, a winner over the Sooners in.
I'm just having a great time. We were talking about boxing and all that good stuff. Thank God Jake Paul got his jaw broke last night. If that's wrong for saying, then I'm just
Nah, it's
be
boxing.
Wrong
That's
today.
what happens.
Exactly. Got his jaw rocked. That clip was from last night's college football game where Alabama came out on top over Oklahoma. Alabama, SEC. Right now you got Miami up, I believe, 3-0 over Texas A&M with about 9.5 minutes left in the game. It's a very ugly, weird game. The weather is playing a huge factor. The wind is playing a huge factor. But, Cerrone, I just wanted to get this off my chest, too. Who knew I was going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed angry? I want the U to win. And it's not because I'm a fan. It's because, and this isn't anything new, this has been going on for a long time, but this week it really got to me. I am sick and tired of talking heads glazing the SEC. That's all I heard all week, and it's not even that they're promoting the SEC. It's the blatant disrespect for the other conferences, specifically the ACC. I watched people laugh at the ACC. I saw people say they have no business being in the college football playoffs. Everything was SEC.
SEC.
I get it. Great conference. A lot of pro athletes go there, come out of there, and into the pros. I get it. Phenomenal. But the disrespect for the other conferences is making me sick. I can't stand it. Miami's up. The weather's funny. The game is funny. I pray to God that Miami sits here and beats Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean, it's the, like you said, the overall thing, and this isn't just this year. It's been going on forever. And if it wasn't for a playoff or the different systems that they've changed, people used to just flat out vote SEC teams as the champion just because they're in the SEC. Oh my God. Like, well, are they going to play somebody else? Well, nope, they're the SEC, so they're the best. When they had the 4-team playoff, they just put a bunch of SEC teams in. Well, they're the best. It's like, why don't you make them play against somebody else to see if they're the best? And they were the ones pushing back the most against the playoff. They're the ones pushing back against a 16-team playoff because the more teams you put in it, the more we get to see what these teams are really made of. And since they've gone to this playoff format, they ain't won yet. And Texas was in the national championship. No, they didn't make that. Excuse me. Texas made the Final Four the first year. Texas was in the Big 12. Texas makes the Final Four. The SEC said, well, why don't y'all come play with us? Texas goes to SEC, and they're like, yeah, Texas SEC. And it's like, they just got there. How y'all claiming them? And then they still didn't win. Ohio State's won it. Notre Dame has won it. And I think it was Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame lost, last year. But Michigan and Ohio State, two Big Ten teams, have won it. And, they literally make it like nobody can play against the SEC. No one belongs in their class. People thought Miami was going to lose by 4 touchdowns. They don't belong. If it wasn't for the wind, Miami, this game would be over. Their kicker missed 4 kicks in the wind. And that's the only reason this game isn't close. A&M's in the red zone, I think, now.
Yep.
But, these teams belong. The ACC teams belong. And in this new day and age of NIL and transfer portal, the gap between SEC and everybody else, it doesn't exist. The popularity's there. The national branding is there. The money is there. So they make you think, oh, look at they look at the pageantry, look at the history. It's like, no one cares about that. No one cares. And if these teams, if A&M had to go play Indiana in the freezing cold, they get rocked. If the same thing that happened last year, Tennessee had to go to Ohio State, they got smoked, and everybody thought Tennessee was going to be on the level with them. They got destroyed. Georgia last year had a shot. They got destroyed by Notre Dame. They got blown up. They couldn't handle the cold. And if you give these teams a chance to play each other more regularly like they do in basketball, you would have a better feel at who's who and what's what. I believe they should have like in basketball, they have the ACC, SEC challenge or the Big 12 challenge. Rotate the schedules the same way you do football divisional play. ACC versus SEC this year, SEC versus Big 12, Big 12 versus whoever's left. I know they got rid of all the conferences, but rotate the conferences and give everybody a chance to see who's who and what's what. But this bias it's the reason Alabama is in the playoff. They didn't want Notre Dame in. They didn't want anybody else, so they just putting these teams in. And it's an embarrassment to the sport, and it's a huge bias, and it's ridiculous. And no, the SEC isn't better than everybody else. They're exactly the same. They might have one good team here or there, but we saw that with Texas this year. They went out and got punched in the mouth week 1, and we knew that wasn't legit. So, it is what it is.
Right now in the Miami-Texas A&M game, that game is now tied at 3 apiece with about 8 minutes left in the game. I guess the thing for me, I think it was earlier this week, I posted on Facebook that I bully bullies. I don't like bullies. And I guess that's why I'm charged up, because to some degree, you have people trying to bully others into the SEC as champ. And then when we go back to the Jake Paul stuff in the fight, like, when you try to sucker us, to me, that's a form of bullying. I don't like that. Don't do that to us.
And you gaslight the fans into thinking one thing.
I don't like that. Before we go to break, let's go to Frank and Randolph. Frank has a VCR story. Frank.
How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good myself. So newlyweds, young married, 2 couples. We want to go out for dinner, but we don't want to miss the Boston College. It turned out to be the Miracle in Miami game when Flutie threw the Hail Mary at the end to Phelan.
Yep.
Got a brand new VCR. Going out to dinner with a friend, and I said, you know what? We'll tape the game. He said, you sure it'll take it all? I said, it's a 6-hour tape. We can't mess this up, right?
No.
Pop the tape in, and I got choice of 3 settings. I said, we're going to get the best setting. It says that this speed is the best setting. You get the best picture when you play it back. Pop it in, turn it on. We go out to dinner. We avoid radio. We avoid everything so that we can watch the entire game when we get back from dinner. Big game, right, in Miami. So come back from dinner, we're having a couple beers, we sit down, I pop in the tape, we watch the game, we watch the whole first half, we watch halftime show, they line up for the kickoff, and the tape ends. Turns out when you put it on that best setting, it's only like 90 minutes.
Oh!
We never saw the end of the game.
Oh, and he missed a classic, Frank. We feel your pain. I don't know if Frank ever even really recovered from that. That's a tough one. Listen, we got to take your time studios.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right. Derek White dropped 33 points while Jaylen Brown hit them with 30, and the Celtics beat the Miami Heat 129-116. The C's will take on the Raptors tonight at 7. Coverage starts at 6:30 on our sister station, 105.7 WROR. Moving on, college football playoffs. Alabama with the comeback win over Oklahoma, 34-24. First round playoff action continues today. Miami and Texas A&M are now tied at 3 with 8 minutes left in the game. You got Tulane and Ole Miss at 3:30. James Madison and Oregon tonight at 7:30. College basketball, Brockton stand up. Pay attention. A.J. DeBonsa scored 35 points, which included a vicious, and I mean a vicious putback dunk as number 10 BYU beat the Abilene Christian Wildcats 85-67. Women's college basketball, Northeastern over Boston College 73-67. Boxing, Anthony Joshua, hallelujah, knocked out Jake Paul in the 6th round. The Bruins and Vancouver Canucks goes down tonight at 7. You can catch all the action right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub starting at 6:30. In the NFL, Eagles, Commanders at 5. Packers, Bears at 8:20. And, of course, Pats, Ravens tomorrow night at 8:20. Primetime Sunday night football. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the perfect holiday gift, 99 restaurant gift cards. They're the perfect gift for everyone on your list. For every $25 you purchase, receive a $5 bonus card for yourself. You gotta love the nines. I'm Leroy Irvin. Your next update is in an hour.
Mays under center, offset off. Drake Mays. Throws down the middle. Drake rolls well, wrecking traffic. Off balance, throw it in the end zone. Caught by Joe. Pass is going to be.
Drake Mays.
Drake May. Great man.
98.5, the Sports Hub. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Yes, they lost last week to the Bills. I don't know how that turned into the season is over for the Patriots. Break them up. Josh McDaniel doesn't deserve a job here. What's up with Mike Gray? We get all this craziness
How'd we
going
get
on.
there?
They're still at the top of the AFC East. My God. But they got to take on the Ravens tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football, 8:20. The Ravens. The Ravens who aren't the Ravens that we've been used to seeing for the past few seasons with Lamar Jackson at the helm. Cerrone, just simply putting it, what are your thoughts about the game? Can the Patriots bounce back in Baltimore?
Yeah, I think they can. I think the Patriots are still the better team. I think the Ravens are who they are by reputation alone. I mean, they're 7-7 right now, and they're 500 team for a reason. Lamar Jackson hasn't been Lamar Jackson this season. He is more than a step slow. And when you're a scrambling quarterback who relies on his legs so much, and he's a very accurate passer too, but he relies on his legs so much that once you lose that step, you lose your advantage. Now you're everybody else. And when they don't trust your legs, the defense, they don't respect them. They get to sit back in coverage, and you see Lamar Jackson, who was a very accurate quarterback, I want to say since November 9th or something like that, since first week of November, I believe. He's completing like 50% of his passes, 52, 53%, somewhere in that area. And he's not accurate downfield. They're winning. They're getting the W. They're running here or there. Henry's still Henry a little bit, but they're not the same explosive team as they once were. And that's who they are. It's why they're 500. They're banged up a little bit, but you put it like this. You go up like you did against Buffalo. I'm not saying they're going to go up 21-0 on this team. You get up 10-0 on this team. You might get them because they're not made to come from behind. They're made to play with a lead, and I think they'll play right into your hands. I think you have a chance at beating this team and resetting yourself. The way you started this segment, I don't know how everybody jumped to the season's over. You should be happy with what you got. Sky is falling. I don't trust them anymore simply because the Bills had to play the good second half of football. Good third quarter. They killed some clock. You still had 31 points, 400 yards of offense, and was able to get a 21-point lead on the Bills team. You just weren't able to get a stop here or there on third down that would have completely swung that game. So it is what it is. A good team, a desperate team came in and won. Give the Bills credit. But the Patriots, I think, still played a good game of football. And Josh Allen had to put on the cape for a minute, and he did, and they won that game in the final stretch. But, the season is not over by any stretch. And I don't want to hear y'all come on here after they beat the Ravens and then tell us the Ravens aren't good. Because this has been a trend all season. Oh, look out. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know. This team got this, that, and the other. And then Monday morning, that wasn't a real test. No, don't sit here and say Lamar Jackson and Henry and Lamar, and then come Monday if they lose by 14, that's not really the Ravens. So what you pick them for then? What are you picking them to win if you don't think they're legit? And we're going to hear that because I think the Patriots are going to win this game. It might be a close game because the Ravens can run the ball. They don't have their best run stoppers, but I think they can win this game. And if they do, you absolutely will hear first thing come Monday nationally, locally, that the Ravens really aren't that good. And I don't know how hard they're really playing. You're going to hear it. And that's a shame. Sorry.
617-779-0985. No problem. You can just say how you feel. Last week, I believe, Cerrone, was Albert Breer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he said that the Bills had a gear that they could go to that the Patriots can't. And after last week's game, I'm like, well, you know what? It kind of did look that way. Do you feel like the Ravens are able to shift and get to another gear that the Patriots may not be able to? And then on top of that, what happened last week that concerns you with the Patriots that could show up again this week with the Ravens?
It's third and short. It's been a concern all season. Those 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, those are the type of plays that are concerning me with the Patriots. I think that's where they lost that game last week. They just couldn't get off the field on those key short yardage situations. Now, the Bills are the best in the league at those situations. They've been for the last 2 years. because you have a quarterback that can run and running back that's dangerous. But they were always an inch short, a yard short. And one stop here or there, I mean, I think that game is probably over. That concerned me. And one thing that's concerning me going this week, because this is what the Ravens do. The Ravens love to get in third and short. They'll run the ball. They'll convert with those two guys, with the quarterback and running back. Same situation. The biggest thing that concerned me about last week, and I don't know if it's been talked about on this station at all. It might have, but I'm going to bring it up again if it has. The Patriots coaching staff at times gets too cute. They get cute. They had a chance to bury Buffalo in the first half at the end of the second quarter with the ball with 2 minutes left or whatever it was, and they burned the clock. They got cute. They were doing something. They were kind of playing the game, the mind game with the Bills, with the timeouts and all this stuff, and got so cute they ended up burning the clock and had to settle for a field goal. If they would have stayed aggressive at that moment right there and went up 28-7 or whatever it was, 28, I don't know what the score was, but they had a chance to get 28 points, ended up settling for field goal, got 24. You play aggressive in that moment. I'm not sure the Bills come out in the third quarter trying to win it anyway. But you played that mind game with them and played around with the clock. And it's not the first time they've done that this season. And it gave them some kind of momentum. They stopped you, settled for a field goal, whatever. But I think they get too cute at times and go away from what's working. And I think offensively and defensively. And I think that's a concern of mine going forward. But other than that, I think they can beat this Ravens team because they faced a similar situation last week. So they're used to the scrambling quarterback. They don't need a guy replicating it in practice. You just saw it live. They're used to that. They're used to the running game. And I think they'll be prepared to stop it. And this offense of the Ravens, I don't think they have the ability to hit that other gear or score that many points straight without giving it up punting the ball away.
Obviously, Lamar Jackson is the leader of that offense for the Ravens. Cerrone, do you feel like Lamar Jackson's throwing is a weakness for the Ravens versus the Patriots defense?
Yeah, man, I think it is. I never thought I'd say that, but I think it is. I think they're not aggressive downfield. They're not explosive on offense like we've seen from the Ravens in the past. And I know the Patriots run defense is getting all the conversation, whatever. They haven't given up 200 yards in the air since Baker Mayfield in Tampa. That was a long time ago. The Patriots have not allowed a 200-yard passer since Baker Mayfield. And he got a lot of that kind of in garbage time when they were kind of trying to get back in it late in the fourth quarter. The Patriots pass defense low-key is good, man. They don't get a ton of sacks, but they get you off the field if that's all you have to stand on is your passing game. They don't let you get the big plays. And if they make Lamar and them march downfield, I think there's going to be a lot of punting going on. And it's windy right now, as you see in this A&M game. It's windy all up and down the East Coast. I think there's going to be a factor again tomorrow. And I don't see the Ravens. If the Ravens get down in this game and they have to spread out 5 wide and throw the football, I think it's a recipe for disaster because this isn't the same Ravens offense we've used to seeing. And I think that's where the Patriots can really capitalize on this team tomorrow.
That's what's up. 617-779-0985 is the number. By the way, you can follow myself, Leroy Irvin, on just about every social media platform. Boston L. Irvin. Cerrone, they can find you at? Cerrone? Cerrone?
Sorry about that. Cerrone_battle across all social media platforms, except for that blue sky thing. I still ain't got on there yet.
Oh, God. All right. When we get back, Drake May. There's a lot of talk about him being an MVP candidate after last week's game versus the Bills. Did he take a hit? Can he bounce back? We'll talk about that next right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Two local guys, lots of local sports talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The MVP it's obviously one of the big accolades for this league, and it's something that it's an honor as a player to earn their award, and I respect all the past MVPs, but I think at the end of the day winning a Super Bowl is the biggest thing, and I think it's what kind of makes this league go is winning the big one, and that's what you work towards, and that's what this game's about. I love winning, and the personal accolades come with all that, but I'd rather win than win personal awards, and I hope people in that locker room, I know a lot of them feel the same way.
Are still alive. They're staying alive. Cerrone, prime time, Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
If Drake May shines, not only is he back on top of the MVP race, but should he be?
I think he should be, and I don't think he should have ever came down from the top. I think people are they're going stat for stat. This is him versus Stafford, and they're trying to put Josh Allen back in there. And it's like, how y'all eliminate all the bad games that led to the reason the Bills are behind the Patriots in the first place? But anyway, we can just go skip over the fact that he was kicking in pain against Houston a couple weeks ago. But I think Drake May should be at the top, and I think he should have been at the top the whole time. And I say that because he has done the most with the least. He's got a new offensive line. He's got rookies on his offensive line. He's got a receiving group that we thought was at the bottom of the league to start the season. His starting running back was out. Thank God for Henderson, filling in and doing his thing. Probably could be offensive rookie of the year, but he's doing the most of the least. If Drake May was playing in a dome and he had Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, do you think it'd be close? And he had Sean McVay calling plays for him. It wouldn't even be close. He'd be the running away MVP. And if Stafford in return was in this situation, he wouldn't be an MVP candidate. I think he should be near the top and stay near the top. Look, they lost last week. They did not lose that game because of Drake May. He had an interception, but that was more so a punt. Just throw it downfield and see what happens. If they get it, they get it. And it looks like Miami just scored a touchdown, and they're probably going to win this game.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That kid had himself a drive. But anyway.
Michael Irvin.
I think they didn't lose last week because of Drake May. If you would have went into that game and said, the Patriots are going to have 31 points, 400-yard offense, and have a 21-point lead, who would you blame that L on?
Yeah, the defense.
The defense. And all week, all we heard was Drake May and Josh McDaniels. We just going to skip over the fact that Buffalo scored on 5 straight drives? Like, they didn't play defense. That's why they lost that game. One stop, that game is over. But Drake May, I think he's the MVP of this league. I think he should get it. He's been the most consistent quarterback in the league. He's doing it without the weapons. And I think Sunday against a Ravens defense, pass defense, that is 27th in the league in yards allowed. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was 26th in the league in passing yards allowed. And they don't stop you. They don't stop you through the air. They're middle of the pack when it comes to run defense too. I think they can be had. And I think Drake May is going to have himself a day through the air and on the ground. And I think if they build the lead on this Ravens team, they're going to get the ball back a lot. Not because they're forcing interceptions, because they're forcing punts. The more chances you get the ball, the more chances you get to get points up. And I think Drake May is going to have himself a day, and everybody's going to see it. Now, nationally, again, like they're going to say, well, that was the Ravens. They're really not that good. They're out of it now. It's like, well, they're going to keep moving the goalposts. But this kid has been the most consistent quarterback in football. And I think he had his first game of less than 200 yards. He was the only quarterback that's gone this far without one. But he still had a couple touchdowns that were on the ground. But I think he locks up. He has a chance to get the MVP and, to me, lock it up on Sunday night if he lights up the Ravens.
Oh, wow. 617-779-0985 is the number. Let's go to Bert in Berlin. Bert.
Hey, gents. Fan of the show.
Appreciate it.
Biggest concern coming out of last Sunday's loss, and I think it's a concern moving forward. It definitely is a concern moving forward, for me at least. Robert Spillane.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were just on it. 5 touchdowns in a row, right? Drives in a row. And I'm going, they can't stop anybody. I'm looking around the field. They're playing, this weird kind of zone, deep man. I don't know what's going on, but Vrabel didn't have any answers. And then it dawned on me. I said, Spillane isn't in the middle, right? That guy makes more plays than people realize. And to not have him then and not have him tomorrow and not have him probably moving forward, that's a problem.
Appreciate it, Bert. So again,
that's a big one.
You already talked about the defense, going back to the defense. What, if anything, do you expect to be different tomorrow when it comes to the Ravens? Obviously, they're not the Bills. They're not going to, put it in the air. And
that's it.
But what about the run game?
You know what? Here's the difference. There's two types of running backs in this league. You have the quick, shifty guys, the burners, and then you have the lumbering, heavy guys that the Derrick Henry type.
Right.
And I think he plays into the Patriots' hands because he's not shifty. He's not he's a straight ahead, move the pile type guy. He gets in the open, he'll outrun you. He's sneaky fast that way. But Cook was making guys miss. He was getting the handoff and was making the first guy miss over. He would get in the hole, between the gap in small spaces. He was making two guys miss in a phone booth. Henry is not going to do that. He's not going to want to do that. He's going through you, and he's going to put on that burst, and that's how he plays ball. But I think he plays into the Patriots style. Now, to the caller's point, Spillane's there. They win that game. And I take it in one play. It was third. The Bills were, I want to say, like 3rd and 10 or something like that in the red zone. They got like a false start or a holding call, pushed them back. And Allen gets out, scrambles 15 yards away, 20 yards away, whatever it was. And he hits a tight end in the back of the end zone. The Patriots played this weird zone when they kind of put everybody like a picket fence on the one. And tight end beats the backup linebacker there. If Spillane's in that game, in that position, not only do I think he makes that play, I'm not sure Allen makes that throw because it's Robert Spillane. And he respect him like, you know what? This guy's got a couple interceptions on the season. Let me not throw it in his area. He looks somewhere else or he throws that ball away. That's a 3-point possession as opposed to 7. And I think just having his presence out there changes how the Bills run their offense. I think he makes the plays. That one play of that stop there where Cook was a yard short, he got it by a yard or two. I think Spillane's there to make that play. But going forward, I think they'll game plan for it better now. They know he's going to be out all week. All week they knew he was going to be out. I think they game plan for it better. And then after you get by the Ravens today, you kind of could chill a little bit against the Jets and Dolphins. I don't think they're really trying to win games at this point. And I think you can rest and get your guys back for the playoffs. But not having Spillane was a huge part of that game.
And just for the record, so last week, obviously, the Pats win against the Bills. Bills, number 1 in the league at yards per game rushing at 158.5. Third in the league, the Baltimore Ravens, 146.2. But Cerrone, you're saying it's a style thing. Kind of like with boxing. That's what used to make boxing
it is.
like
It's
styles.
It's how you do it. And a part of the reason the Bills are so, their rushing stats are so good is because of Josh Allen. This man's arm talent and his ability to move. You still ain't bringing safeties up. You're still not committed to stopping the run because you know he can burn you downfield. This man could go off and throw for 500 yards on anybody. He had a 6-touchdown game early in the year. He can light anybody up. Lamar Jackson doesn't have the ability right now because of his injuries and illnesses, whatever. He hasn't practiced a full week in like 2 months. He doesn't have the ability to put 500 in the air up. So even with Lamar Jackson there, you're bringing the safety down. You're putting more guys in the box to take away the run. And it's something the Patriots just couldn't do against the Bills. And no one's been able to do because of the fear of Josh Allen.
All right, we got to take a quick break. 617-779.
You're listening. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Back up, the U goes into Texas A&M and wins. Game is over. The U took him out. The SEC just took a hit, y'all. All that glazing, all that talking about the SEC, it just took a little hit. Miami, ACC, they get the win. The game ended with an interception in the end zone to seal the deal. I'm going to tell you what. It felt like the refs did everything they could to help bring Texas A&M into position to win. A scary play right before the final play. One of Miami's players goes down. He ends up jogging off of the field, but it looked scary for a second. But again, Miami wins. So, I mean, I'm happy. I was a little bit angry today for a few reasons, and one were there was just too many people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't hype up or praise the SEC, but you don't have to disrespect the other conferences, and I saw way too much of that this week. So I'm glad that you won. There you go. Cerrone, with about 3 games left for the Patriots, I know for me, my expectations, now what I'm about to say, Patriot fans, please don't get upset with me. Hear me out. I've come to the conclusion that if the Patriots don't win another game for the rest of the season, including the playoffs, technically the season will still be a success to me. None of us expected them to be in this type of position. Now that they're in it, of course you want them to do well. Of course you want them to see how far that they can take it. But for me, if they just so happen to not win anymore, I'd be like, you know what? It's still a successful season. But have your expectations, changed for the Patriots since last week's loss?
No, they haven't. I think this team can still compete for the AFC. I haven't seen nothing from anybody else that says otherwise. They lost to Buffalo, but they were still good enough to get up 21 on Buffalo. They were still good enough to score 30 points on Buffalo. They were still good enough to get 400 yards on Buffalo. They were good enough to get explosive plays. Travion Henderson is still running down the sidelines.
My God, what a waste. What a waste of a performance.
Yes, he's a playmaker. And he would have done a lot more, but the time of possession was so lopsided, he didn't get a chance to get back on the field.
Right.
And I think that's why May's numbers weren't high. The time of possession, they did not have the ball in the second half. And I think the Travion Henderson touchdown actually was a detriment because it put the defense right back on the field after one play and allowed the Bills to eat up on them some more. But I think they're good enough. They're explosive enough. And there's no way you can watch the first half of that game and sit there and say, oh, they can't compete in the AFC. We thought we were looking at a Super Bowl team for the first 3 quarters of that game.
Yep.
And they show flashes of it. Now they learn from this and show they can't take their foot off the gas and can't relax and can't celebrate and showboat. I think it was a learning lesson. But I think this team can absolutely beat any team in the AFC. I think Denver will be tough because they're so good in the trenches. But you're talking about a situation, if you get a chance to play Denver, you have Will Campbell back. You have, most importantly, Milton Williams is back on that D-line. You have most of your guys will be back in that situation. Now it's trenches versus trenches. And it comes down to coaching, which they have an elite coach, head coach, quarterback situation. Bo Nix playing good ball. That's a great matchup. That'd be a fun matchup. But everybody else absolutely can lose to the Patriots. And the Patriots can lose some of these games. They turn the ball over and have these lapses where they can't get anything in the red zone, stuff like that. They can lose. But I think my expectations for this team is just as high. And we started the season with maybe they can be 500. Maybe they can win 8 games. Maybe they can win the division. I'm looking at this team now like I think they can win the AFC. And I anything short of them winning the AFC, I think would be a disappointment.
So you would be disappointed if they ended up losing the AFC East to the Bills?
No. I mean, no. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if they lost the AFC East, but I'd be disappointed if they didn't reach at least the conference championship. I'd be disappointed. I think they should beat the Texans. They should beat Jacksonville. You see what I'm saying? They should beat the Chargers team that would have to come all the way to the East Coast that's banged up. You should be able to beat those teams. Even if you don't get the bye, you should be able to beat those teams early. I think they could absolutely smoke the Steelers. They should have beat them last time. You fumbled 5 times and still had a chance to beat that team. So I think they can beat everybody in the AFC outside of the way Denver's playing right now, but everybody else is absolutely beatable. And I'd be highly disappointed if they lost to anybody else not named the Denver Broncos.
Stephon Diggs' name keeps coming up in the news about his lack of production in the last few games. Any concerns with him?
No, I think it's I mean, you didn't need him, and you don't have to throw it 50 times to win games. You don't have to throw these receivers all the time. It didn't bother it. It wasn't the issue until we saw the Bills game. Oh my God, where's Diggs? We wanted him to do what he did last time. They had to play from behind and hold the lead in that game last time. And the Bills kind of played him one-on-one, not really believing in him. The situations change. But again, I don't care what Diggs did. You had 31 points.
Right.
You had 400 yards of offense. Your offense was just fine. You just didn't make the play on third down that you needed. I think Diggs was kind of held on that one, to be honest with you. But you did not get stops. You get the right stops in that game. You get off the field. Marcus Jones gets that interception, which it should have been. That game is probably over. I'm not going to blame the refs on that one, but there was a couple plays here and there. That one on Carlton Davis was ridiculous. But those plays get you off the field. You probably win those games. But I'm not blaming that one on the offense of Stephon Diggs. The Bills made the plays when they had to at the right times, and you didn't. They were a hungry team, fighting for their coach, fighting for their pride, fighting to stay in it for a playoff position. You were just basically like, yo, we got the T-shirts and hats in the locker room, trying to get the AFC East. You built the lead and you chilled, but I'm not blaming the offense of any of their guys for a reason to be concerned or reason why they lost that game. Red zone, I'm really concerned about their red zone offense. But outside of that, I think they're going to be fine.
All right. Listen, we got to take another quick break, but I'm going to set this up for when we get back. One of the more disturbing conversations I heard all week was questioning the coaching of the New England Patriots, specifically Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. We got to touch on it, Cerrone. We can't let today go by and not touch on something that's been talked about all week. We're going to do that next, right here on 98.5.
Stay tuned for
Taking your calls, giving hot takes. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
As it relates to play calling, I think every time in every game, offensively, defensively, special teams, my decisions, there's always a decision that you want to have back and, how I could have made this better, whether that's as a player or as a coach. And I've said this for as long as I've been able to say it as a head football coach. There is no perfect play. There are good, perfect call. There are good calls, and there's not so good calls. And again, my reason for saying this is you don't want to have a call that gets in late. Those calls that are good they're in a timely manner. The personnel group is in there. The players have repped it. They've seen it. They know they have answers for things that they could do. They have answers for things that were unscouted, which occur in every game. And so we try to make sure that our calls that go into the players are appropriately that way. I don't think that there's anything that we would want to change or do differently. We don't get to do do-overs. I mean, we've had a lot of success, and we're going to try to get that same success on.
Yeah. Still, can you still skate?
He took offense to that. It's me. I'm the one who can't skate.
I'm a little bit hurt, Cerrone. I'm a little hurt.
I'm asking, can you still skate? It's been some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna bust an ankle. You gonna be injured in a couple weeks.
You ever see the movie ATL with
Yes.
T.I.?
Yes, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. You know when they go and they see the skating crews?
You was in the skate crew?
I could have been in one of them.
What was that place? Cascade? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, buddy. No, sir, I wasn't that nice. But yeah, I can skate.
You know who can skate like that, man?
Who?
You once I say it, you're gonna be like, figures. Man, my father, man. See, I see you start laughing.
Makes sense.
That dude, man, he'd go backwards down the street on no problem.
Oh my God.
Sweetness from my soul bounce. Roll bounce, excuse me.
Well, by the way, I'm sorry. Now I got a detour. You said sweetness from roll bounce?
Yep.
The absolute most irritating character in a movie. I couldn't stand him. That's stupid. If you're watching YouTube live, Cerrone, when he goes, I'm like, man, if you don't go sit down doing that dumb behind move, sweetness.
He just had the afro and no shirt. I don't know what look he was going for, but
sweetness.
Hey, man.
Well, apparently, the sweetness that was in the Patriots locker room, according to some people around here, it might not be that sweet anymore in the Patriots locker room. Cerrone, can you help me understand? Because I'm confused.
I'll try.
The Patriots are 11-3. They lost to the Bills. Okay. They're first in the AFC East. They're second in the AFC.
Why have the second best record in the league?
Why are there conversations about coaching? Can somebody, I'm not saying that they can't be, critical of some of the things that they're doing,
right,
but to the point where we now have some people wondering, questioning if a Josh McDaniels belongs? What are we doing? What are we talking about? Maybe I'm lost, Cerrone. What's going on?
I don't get it either. They're top. Aren't they top 5 offensively? I think that's if you would have said in September the Patriots at Christmas will be a top 5 offense, you'd give McDaniels coach of the year then. I mean, I don't get it. I understand there was some critical plays they could have made, Sunday, obviously.
Top 6 throwing the ball. I'll give you that. Hold up.
Yep.
Top 6.
And you got to.
No, you're right. Top 6 overall offense. Top 6
overall.
Yep.
And you might have a quarterback win MVP, and your rookie running back be offensive rookie of the year at the same time. The last person I'm questioning on this team is the offensive coordinator, who, by the way, has a pocket full of Super Bowls, and has got this quarterback completing 70% of his passes and got him in the position that he's in now, with a makeshift offensive line that they've made work out. with a receiving group that's been better than advertised. He's got the best out of everything. He squeezed the best out of his team. Like I said, they could be better in the red zone. There were some plays that they missed. But I think instead of pointing the fingers at the Patriots coaching staff or the players, I think we simply had to say, you know what? Give the Bills credit. They made the play. That guy, he tipped that pass. He made that sack.
Yeah.
He made that play. Give him credit. That defensive coordinator for the Bills, give him credit. He dialed up the right stuff at the right time in the second half of that game. Give the other team credit sometimes. They are who they are. This is a team that's been one of the Super Bowl favorites for the past 3 or 4 years. They had pride in themselves. They ran a little harder. They fought a little longer. They did the things they could. Most teams, the way that game started, would have quit.
Yeah, they would have folded. Yep.
They would have just gave up. Oh, we'll get next week. We're still in it, guys. We're still in it. The Bills didn't quit. Their coaching staff did everything right. They were almost speechless after the game because they couldn't believe it either. They called the perfect game in the second half of that game and played the perfect game. I'm not blaming Josh McDaniels again. I've said it 10 times. I'll say it 10 more if need be. His offense had 31 points. They had 400 yards and a 21-point lead. I would have took the headset off right then and there and looked at the defense and said, all right, guys, win the game for us. Close this out. I've done enough. I've spotted you 21 points. Give me a stop. And yet all week, all we talked about was the offensive coordinator. It wasn't his fault they couldn't stop the run. It wasn't his fault they couldn't do anything in the red zone. It is what it is. The Patriots got a defensive coordinator. It's his first time playing D coordinator, and he was only thrown in that role because of what happened to Williams. And you saw it showed itself at the worst time. But that's okay. That's 1 L. This team is sitting there. Like I said, they're 11-3. They're playing the Ravens. They can bounce back with this Ravens win. Even if they lose to the Ravens, they're 11-4 with 2 games against the Jets and Dolphins who aren't trying to win. This team could legit win 13 games, and that's an amazing turnaround. But I don't think we should blame or put anything on any coaches. The Bills just played a better second half. It's just that simple.
All right, 617-779-0985 is the number. My guy Tony in a car, he wants to point something out about Josh McDaniels. Tony.
I think McDaniels is doing a great job. It's just what upsets me, and what upset me about this game is he's got third down, 1 yard to go to get a first down. And what the hell does he do? He does twice. He did this pass plays. Why are you throwing the ball when all you have to do is a quarterback sneak and get the first down? Okay, and they blew it. They blew it because that's exactly what he should have done.
Appreciate it, Tony. I've heard people say that, Cerrone. I've also people criticize Josh McDaniels' creativity or lack thereof. What's your response to that?
He doesn't have a creative offense. He doesn't have the talent. Right. We've been screaming about them in short yardage. We've been screaming about short yardage all season. Why do they struggle in short yardage? Because they don't have the talent on the offensive line to move people. If you want Drake May to quarterback sneak, you got to have guards in the center that's moving people out of the way so he can get that yard. And the other team is sitting there waiting on it as well. So when they're taking that away from you, you got to do something different. When he walks up to that line, he probably gives May 2 calls. Hey, if you see this and see that, you run this. May probably threw it on those short yardage situations because he saw something, or he thought he did. He's still a young guy. He thought he saw something, thought he could make a play, and it didn't work out. But all season, they have struggled in short yardage. But Josh McDaniels is not dealing with the Rams offense. He doesn't have the offense that some of the Seahawks that you're seeing, these explosive teams, the Detroit Lions. He doesn't have the offense that they have. If he did, he'd be more creative, or he'd be less creative and just say, we'll run basic stuff and smoke people, because he doesn't have to because of the offense. If you have Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that Detroit Lions offense, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Williams as running back, you don't even have to be creative. Anything you call is going to work because someone's going to get open, someone's going to make the block, someone's going to make the play. This Patriot team isn't good enough talent to do the basic things, so you kind of have to do the unconventional. If it's 3rd and 1, yeah, I want to run it straight ahead, but guess who's been stopped straight ahead? Ramondre Stevens has been getting stopped straight ahead. Yep, Henderson had that big touchdown in the 4th quarter. The reason that touchdown happened is because the entire right side of the offensive line got blown up, and his speed and natural ability allowed him to cut back and score. But the play was completely blown up, and it was just a pile of bodies. And him and Drake May had a chance to outrun everybody because everybody else was laying on the ground. But that's one player who was good enough to beat the scheme and the coaching with his natural ability. You don't have 10 other guys that can do that. Excuse me, 9 outside of the quarterback. And he can't call the basic play because the basic plays, they're not good enough sometimes to run straight ahead and get 1 yard or 2 yards in the goal line or on 3rd and short. And he has to pull a rabbit out of a hat over and over again. And he's been doing it for 10 straight weeks when they hadn't lost since September.
All right, we got to take a break. We got your Sports Hub headlines when we get back.
From the Telfair Tire Studios, it's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Derek White dropped 33 points while Jaylen Brown dropped 30, and the Celtics beat the Miami Heat 129-116. The C's will take on the Raptors tonight. Tip off at 7. Coverage starts at 6:30 on our sister station 105.7 WROR. College football playoffs, Alabama with the comeback win over Oklahoma 34-24. First round playoff action continues today as Miami took out Texas A&M 10-3. Ole Miss is up 14-0 over Tulane with about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. You got James Madison in Oregon tonight at 7:30. College basketball, Brockton, I keep telling y'all, stand up as A.J. DeBonsa scored 35 points, which included this vicious putback.
Right, in rhythm, no good.
Just nasty as number 10 BYU beat the Abilene Christian Wildcats 85-67. Women's college basketball, Northeastern over Boston College 73-67. Boxing, Anthony Joshua knocked out Jake Paul in the 6th round. The Bruins in Vancouver Canucks goes down tonight at 7. You can catch all the action right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub starting at 6:30. In the NFL, Eagles, Commanders at 5. Packers, Bears at 8:20. And, of course, Pats, Ravens tomorrow night at 8:20. Primetime Sunday Night Football. Gotta love it. Your Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by... let's see. Oh, they're actually driven by the rugged Honda Ridgeline. Head to your local New England Honda dealers to learn more and see our line of rugged vehicles. I'm Leroy Irvin. Leroy and Cerrone will be right back.
The Bruins play here. We're back with more Leroy and Cerrone on the Sports Hub.
Chris Tucker on the bus on the way here.
It's not funny.
Where's Chris Tucker
It's not funny.
going?
It's not funny. I hope they get to the bottom of things ASAP.
In the madness.
Yes, in the madness.
No wonder he been quiet the last couple years. He knew he was in them.
He don't want to make no movies no more and stuff like that. You all right, bro?
That Rush Hour guy. No wonder they said they could approve Rush Hour.
Oh, snap. 617-779-0985. People still want to talk about the Patriots, Josh McDaniels and all that. Let's do that before we do the entertainment report. Let's go to Steve in Fall River. Steve, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. I used to be an authority on the Patriots, but since I predicted them to have 6 wins, I've been a little muted this season.
I
haven't also been watching a lot of games, but I did watch that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have said that the entire coaching staff of Buffalo had a better second half than the Patriots coach staff. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yes.
One of the things I didn't like to hear before the game started was the run defense of the Patriots since this tackle went out has gone from 4th to the mid-20s, and nothing I saw in that game was going to make that better. And then after the game, I heard they were second to last in tight end defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw a tight end heavy team, a tight end reliant team, Dawson Knox, Kincaid, the other kid. And who are they playing this week? Baltimore with their couple of good tight ends.
Appreciate it, Steve. This is kind of what I was getting at earlier, Cerrone, when we went through like the top running teams and all that stuff. Tight ends and the running game for the Ravens. I'm concerned about that when it comes to facing the Patriots defense.
The Ravens haven't shown the ability though to be explosive on offense the way the Bills have been. They're not nowhere near as explosive. Lamar Jackson, the tight ends are good. Everybody knows the tight ends are their strength. But when Lamar Jackson, he's not scrambling around, doesn't have time. He's throwing the ball in the grass. He's not effective. I think they punt the ball a lot. They turn the ball over a lot. They're near the bottom in passing attempts. They're near the bottom in passing yards, if not the bottom. I think they only have 2,300 yards passing. They're not an explosive team. They'll throw to those tight ends now. But again, when everybody's a step slow, especially your quarterback and your running back, he gets a lot of carries, but it doesn't hit the same. Now, they'll get a play here or there, whatever, but they're nowhere near as explosive as they were. In Buffalo, you saw how explosive Cook is. He didn't, and the thing is, Cook didn't even have a big 20, 30-yard runs. It was 10. It was 8. It was 9. Then he would get to 4. You need 4. It was those type of plays, but it was the cutbacks, the juking. Josh Allen is still amazing with his legs once he gets out. I'm telling you, Lamar Jackson, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's my quarterback in fantasy, so I've been paying close attention. He has not been the same guy. I don't know what's bothering him. He can't practice. They keep saying it's an illness. But he's not even trying to run away from guys anymore. And I think that completely changed the style of offense that the Baltimore Ravens have been playing over the last few years.
Yeah, let's go to Ryan in Rhode Island. Ryan.
What's up, guys? Love the show.
Appreciate it.
You know, one of the things that we forget oftentimes because the Patriots are so great for so long is that they actually lost football games sometimes. And I was driving through New York the other day, and I spent hours listening to New York sports radio. And it was all Jets and all Giants. And my biggest takeaway was we don't have that much to complain about. And while I understand we got a show to do today and it's really entertaining, thank God we're not New York sports fans, or at least football fans.
Appreciate it, Ryan. I understand exactly what you're talking about. Like, could you imagine?
We did last year.
We were, the last 2 seasons. Yeah. Or could you imagine being a Cleveland Browns fan right now with all the confusion and back and forth?
There's some coordinators that should be questioned. That's a situation that you got to question exactly what's going on. Question the front office, going all the way back to taking 2 quarterbacks in the draft, all those things. That's what you question. But, yeah, it could be worse. They lost a game to a good division opponent. It is what it is. It's going to happen. That's football. If they would have lost 31-0, we'd have some questions. But the game was tight. And as bad of a second half as they played, they still had the ball with their chance to win it, and Buffalo just made the play. Bosa made a great play at dropping back into coverage and then tipping that pass. It's a game of inches, and they lost on a tip pass from defensive end Bosa, who's been in multiple Pro Bowls. It happens. The Pro Bowler made a play to win the game, and that was all she wrote.
All right, one more call before the entertainment report. Freddie in the car. Freddie.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, so first of all, you guys are the best.
Appreciate it.
Your music themes are awesome.
Thank you.
And my main point is, do you think that Mike Vrabel wants Josh McDaniels around?
Appreciate it. I would hope so. I mean, you know what? Yes, they're 11-3.
Yeah.
I told the call Freddie to interject. It kind of reminds me of a Buddy Ryan, Mike Ditka situation with the mid-'80s Bears. You had that dynamic with Buddy Ryan's defense, that one side of the ball, and then you have the offensive coach, and kind of have that struggle and that dynamic, like who's getting the credit. So it hopefully doesn't slice that way.
I hope not, because
one loss derailing the team now.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I get I get a lot of people the idea of is McDaniel so good at his job that it makes you look bad? Not make you look bad, but is he getting the credit? But I think at this point, when you're winning game.
Cerrone went. Let's go back to the phones. Freddie.
There you Vrabel could probably be coach of the year. Yeah, I want him around. Good. You got him going. You got the quarterback going. And I don't know if McDaniels even wants to be a head coach anymore at this point after what he's been through. I think he's happy where he's at. Vrabel should be happy with his team and where he's at as the head coach. Like I said, he's probably going to be coach of the year.
Right.
The team is in the playoffs. You got a ton of money off season. You can still improve this team and get better, and you can build your own special situation here.
Yeah.
Changing the coordinator out, we saw that with Mac Jones. Do not think it's about you and bringing in your buddy to be coordinator. No, we've been through that already. Do not mess with this kid, this quarterback. You got yourself a diamond here. Oops, broke my daggone mic. You got me yelling. You got yourself an elite quarterback here. I'm not messing with that. I'm not messing up anything going on with this kid.
All right, there we go. Let's do the entertainment report. All right, this one's very simple, very quickly. We need to talk about this. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the movie of movies that's in the movies right now. I'm talking about Avatar: Fire and Ash. It's the third installation to the Avatar franchise. I have not seen it. I got my tickets. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. Cerrone, you saw it without giving away anything. Just what's your rating? What did you think about it? Oh, Cerrone's gone. Anyways,
Sorry about that. If you buy this and if you got tickets to it and it's not in 3D, take it back.
Really?
You have to watch it in 3D. You must. It's not like the Avengers in 3D where they make a couple things pop here or there. No. Oh, boy. It's the frame rate in the. It's. I know we talk about this. You go into Best Buy and they got the real nice TVs in the back.
Yep.
And they look so smooth. You see 20 grown men just standing there staring at lions.
Yep.
That's the way the movie looks. And you go from, they show the Avengers trailer.
Uh-oh. And
once the Avengers trailer show it, the movie starts and it looks totally different. Like, that looked like pure trash. Ooh. You just went from TV 38 to watching something in 4K for the first time. That's the way it looks. And you notice it in the first 10 seconds of the movie.
So Avengers was creature double feature. And
on a black and white TV.
Avatar was 4K.
Yep, and they showed some of the trailers were in 3D, whatever, and then nothing looked like that.
What rating?
It was so smooth. Huh?
What's the rating for the movie for you? What are you giving it?
Out of 10, I give it a 7.
Okay.
But like I put on social media earlier, because of the visuals and not skipping details, I would give it a 15. And I think it's a bad look for Hollywood that everything on film does not look as good as this. They've been making these Avatar movies now since, 2009?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
There is no reason why this movie should look so much better than everything else in Hollywood. Like, y'all are lazy, and this movie exposes the pure laziness. If I don't get Dr. Doom fighting the Incredible Hulk to look in that footage and that type of camera work, it's everything else gets an F after that.
I want to see the dandruff in the Hulk's hair.
In this movie, you see they got the hair, the braids, and the cornrows. When they get wet, you see the beads of water in the hair. Wow. And you're sitting there with water splashing and you're jumping like, that looked crazy. But it doesn't look like a movie. It looks like, you see the soap opera effect on TV, on good TVs, whatever.
Yep.
It's like that times 1,000. It's like playing video games with a 240 hertz screen. I can't explain it, but you have to see it. But for that alone, the action scenes and that camera work with that audio is incredible. But I mean, story, movie wise, I give it a 7 out of 10. But visually, there's nothing in Hollywood that looks anything like that. And unfortunately, we won't see it again until Cameron makes something else.
Well,
unbelievable.
It's 3 hours and 17 minutes long.
Yes, Lord.
I will have my blanket and pillow with me in the theater.
It don't feel like it, though.
It doesn't feel like it?
No, not at all.
All right, there it is. And that's your entertainment report. We got to take a break. When we get back, more of your calls. People want to talk about the Pats. Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel, the defense, the offense, the Ravens. We'll do all that. Plus, we're going to talk about the Celtics, too. They got a win last night. Derek White went off. Are they champions?
More Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on the way. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Our ups and downs. Cerrone, I have to say, though, I look forward to doing this show with you every single week. George, we appreciate you. It's like, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't want to waste too much time. We got a lot of people on the phone lines waiting to talk. They want to talk about numerous things. So let's go from, let's see, who's been on the longest? Freddie in East Boston. What's up, Freddie?
Hi, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Great show. Happy holidays. Blessings for you and your family.
And you.
I agree that with you, Cerrone, you're not replacing Jock Daniels. You scored 31 points last week. Your defense gave it up. Baltimore, it's a big boy pants game. You knew it when you saw it on the schedule, so you got to big boy up and play your best game to beat them.
Appreciate it, Freddie. Let's go to, well, before we go to Neil and Taunton, Cerrone, you got something to say?
No, he's right. I mean, it is what it is. You lose games. And like you said, it's we want everything to be Brady Belichick at their peak. Not average, not normal Brady. We want them to be 04, 07, don't lose at all type stuff. That's not football. It's not normal. The Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowls. They lose 3-4 games a year. It is what it is. Division games are usually the ones that give you the most problems. They lost to a Bills team that had pride and a good quarterback, MVP caliber quarterback. And look, they look like the hungrier team. Baltimore is going to be, they're fighting with their backs against the wall, but they're banged up. They have they're a 500 team for a reason, and they have the names. But I think the Patriots at this point have proven they've been the better team. They've been better than Baltimore all year. Mm-hmm. And I think they have a chance to end the Ravens season, put them out of their misery, and stay in the hunt for the number one seed. But they're a good team. You lose games. It is what it is. And the defense, to me, completely blew that game in the second half, not the offense.
All right, Neil and Taunton. Neil.
Hey, fellas. Merry Christmas. How you doing?
Same to you. Merry Christmas.
What's going on, man? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, just wanted to call in about the Vrabel McDaniel stuff that's been going through the airwaves recently. Have you guys ever had a relationship with a boss or a supervisor that was more than professional? Maybe you're a little too close. I know I have, and it doesn't exactly make for the most competitive and hardworking environment. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think it's a good thing that there's a little bit of friction there. I think it's a healthy thing.
I see what you're saying. Appreciate it, Neil. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's right.
Yeah.
He does. And I don't know. I don't know the reporting. I don't know the behind the scenes as much as many others like Alex Barth and some of these other guys on here. I'm not sure if when McDaniel's even a Vrabel hire or was that a Kraft hire? He didn't put his boy in there, you know what I'm saying, as his offensive coordinator. It's kind of, all right, I'll fine. That's what you want, then go ahead. But it's worked out. It's working. Your offense is good. You're one of the top offenses in the league. You've put up – they couldn't reach 30 at all in the last 3 years, and they're doing it every other week. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting here questioning the offensive coordinator. That's because that's what we do here in New England. But I think the old coordinators are fine. I think even defensively, they're top. What are they? 7th in defense? Points allowed, whatever. They're top 10 defense. And your defensive coordinator you hired hasn't even been there. And you're still top 10 in defense. You're not getting into quarterback. Keon White is gone. Look at all the pieces and players that were gone that we thought were going to be contributors to this team. They're not there, and yet they're still there.
Defensively, they're ranked 6th.
6 in yards allowed.
6. That's fine. That's good. That's excellent, actually. And you have a coordinator, a new coordinator in this position that wasn't hired to be the coordinator. You have all these young players all over the place. You have some good vets sprinkled in. But this team is way above what anybody expected. Offensively, defensively, special teams. Your kicker is good. You're returning punts. You're returning kickoffs. Folks, there's nothing really to complain about with this team. We just got to hope they make it to the playoffs healthy. Health is a concern.
Yep.
But other than that, it was just a game they lost to a division opponent, a tight game. You put up a ton of points. They made the play when you didn't at the end.
To be fair,
that's all it is to it.
To be fair, you would hope winning is the end-all, be-all, and that's the focus. But, Cerrone, we've seen way too many times throughout the history of sports where winning isn't enough and getting the credit is what people want. We just saw it with we talked about this a while ago with the Bulls and Michael Jordan and
yeah. So the owner with the Jerry's,
right. And to some degree, let's be honest, Bill Belichick. We've seen it. If they're not getting the credit that they think they deserve, they're willing to burn everything down despite winning. So I don't think that's the case here. I'm shocked that it became a storyline, but hey, they're winning. And especially in a season when no one expected them to do what they're doing now, I hope there isn't any issues.
Now, I would add this, though. Unless there is something behind the scenes we don't know.
Right.
Unless there's something else that hadn't come out, so we just kind of scratching the surface. For example, if Vrabel is saying, hey, I need you to do this on this particular player situation, and you're doing the exact opposite, even if it works, that's grounds to get yourself let go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we see Drake May in the numbers. We see the offense, which I've been screaming for. But I got to say this. If your boss is telling you, hey, man, look, we got to run 28X under here on this play. We got to get something up the middle, and then you out here throwing screen passes, that'll get you fired. Especially if something happened and it didn't work.
Right.
That'll get you in trouble, and that'll cause friction. So if that's going on, I understand it. But if it's just all about who gets credit and clout and all that stuff, then that nonsense got to go. But if there is some more behind the scenes about, now I would say, chain of command or decision making and all that, that'll cause some friction. Win or lose, it causes friction.
Yeah, there's no perfect play.
Let's go to Eddie in Cambridge. Eddie.
Hey, guys. In honor of the fight last night between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, Drake May being Jake Paul and, Lamar Jackson being Anthony Joshua, who's going to win the knockout? Thank you, guys.
Good. Well,
I think it's the other way around now.
Yeah, I think taking all things into consideration, Drake May should play the role of Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, and it's sad to see, unfortunate.
Right.
But you're seeing what we've seen a lot with scrambling quarterbacks. Their prime doesn't last too long. You take enough hits, you twist enough ankles, you step on enough guys' foot, and that's it takes its toll on you. Lamar Jackson is clearly not the same guy that was running 4.240 up the sideline, busting double spin moves. He does not have that in his bag this season, and he's banged up and he's fighting through it. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I hope this isn't the end for Lamar Jackson.
And for the record, I hate comparing Lamar Jackson to Jake Paul. That is a terrible comparison. Let's go to Joey in Kingston. Joey.
It's Johnny Manziel.
Right.
Gentlemen, I also look forward to your show every week because I'm usually working, and I love listening to you. And I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas.
Oh, man. Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. You started off talking about boxing. I think I was about a year out of high school, and the greatest fight I ever saw was the Hagler-Hearns fight. Now, it was pay-per-view, so I actually had to listen to it live on the radio. A buddy of mine recorded it, so the first time I saw it, he recorded it on Betamax, not a VCR. So that's how old.
They were fancy.
Which fight? So, but not only one of the greatest fights I saw, but you would have sworn Sylvester Stallone himself scripted that fight and said, "Hey guys, this is how you're going to fight for 3 rounds." But anyways, I was at the game last week, the Pats game, and at the halftime around the beer barrel with a couple smart guys. One of them was a retired football coach, and he literally quoted Winston Wolfe in Pulp Fiction. When the guys are out in the garage, and he's like, "Guys, it's only a 21-point lead." He's like, "The reigning MVP is going to come back out to start the third quarter, so let's remember that." And anyways, the rest is history. But as far as this week, we lose to the Bills. People think it's like Chicken Little, the sky's falling. We have 11 wins. Tomorrow's going to be a great day of football. Starting with, of course, we all want to see Denver lose, and we want to see us win. But in all likelihood, we're facing 2 more teams that are ready for golf, that probably want a good draft pick. We're going to probably end up with 13 wins in a home game, a home playoff game. I mean, something we haven't had around here in a while. So it really is one of the best Christmases around here in a while, guys.
Appreciate it, Joey. Joey's on point. One more before we go to break. Let's go to Jeff in Worcester. Jeff.
Hey, did you guys catch the Texas game?
Absolutely.
Or no?
Absolutely.
Oh, you did? Okay. So here's my question to you guys, and this brings me back to actually a couple weeks ago with the Eagles game. What do we think about passing the ball in the red zone with 4 yards? I mean, is that something that we're doing now?
Appreciate it. I mean, it's either one or two things. And with that game, watching it, towards the end, obviously we're here doing the show, but Miami was doing a great job containing Texas, and I think they just were trying to keep Miami guessing. They went for the pass and they got intercepted.
They had no timeouts.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
They had no timeouts, and the announcer kept saying, if they run it and he gets tackled, you got to realize these are a bunch of 18-year-old kids, and you're asking them to scramble in the biggest pressure moments of their lives.
Right.
In that arena, it looked like it was 100,000 people to scramble, line up, and do everything correctly. I think they saw it and would say it wasn't worth the risk to run the ball and not get in. And not like they were running the whole game anyway.
I could be wrong. I believe it was 24 seconds left on the clock when they threw the interception.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, 18, 19, or whatever, 24 seconds. Do you know what down it was?
Third. He threw the interception on third.
So it was third down.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
That's a tough decision to make, man. When you ain't been running really all night. Yeah, that's tough because if you get stopped, you got to get everybody, all the bodies from one piled up on top of each other, line up. And now you're in a situation where you might have to spike it to stop the clock. And now it's fourth down or whatever, and now you have no choice. But, hey, he had a play. We had the guy in the back of the end zone. He didn't get his toe down. Yep. It's a game of inches. It's like the Patriots game, and you lost. I mean, it is what it is.
From a so-called
weaker
conference, which is a joke, won.
Didn't even play in the conference championship game.
Wow. They won. All right, we got to take a break. When we get back.
Listening. Sports Talk. Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle on Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Derek White, 8 threes tonight. Steps to his right. How about a ninth? Oh! He banked it in. When it's your night, it's your night. Derek White, 9.
Ones and twos just having fun. Return of the Mac. D. White, yeah, that fits him. Return of the Mac. To me, Cerrone, especially on the offensive side of things when it comes to the Celtics, it really depends on if D. White and Peyton Pritchard are hitting their shot.
Yep.
That's like as basic as it gets.
It's a simple barometer with this team.
Very simple.
That's simple.
D. White last night, 33 points on 11 of 20 shooting. He had 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaylen Brown, 30 points, 9 of 18. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. And before I forget, I got to give Jaylen Brown a shout out and show him some love. Him and DDG went to Charlestown High. And, can he run for mayor? Can Jaylen Brown run for mayor? He keeps
probably could
doing his thing. And 617-779-0985. I need to know who is the student at Charlestown High that scored a bucket on them. The video is out there.
Yep.
And you can hear JB saying, no, we got to run this one back. Who's the student? I need to speak to that young man.
Got a bucket on a professional.
But anyways, back to the game. They're just that performance last night, again, especially from Derek White. I feel like him, Peyton Pritchard, when they're on offensively, the Celtics look like a totally different team. As a matter of fact, George, you said something historical happened last night?
A crazy stat that popped through the bottom line. 35-5, both together, Jaylen Brown and D. White as teammates in Celtics history. One other time it happened, 1983, Larry Bird and Cedric Maxwell.
Cerrone, is this team built for winning or contending for a title? Let's just put JT's not in the picture. We're not even going to consider him.
Without Tatum, you asking?
Yeah.
No.
They're third place without him, I believe. Let me check. Let me see.
In the East.
Yeah.
They're a playoff team, and I've said, for those who, I've been accused of being such a Celtic. One of you. I had them as a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference before the season started without Jason Tatum.
They're fourth in the
thought
Eastern
they could be there
right now. Fourth in the Eastern Conference right now.
That's right where I thought they would be. They're a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. They're a good team because I anticipated Peyton Pritchard being better and Derek White having more of an opportunity and a bigger role, and for Derek White to have more games like he had last night. And the only reason they're not at the top of the Eastern Conference is because Pritchard and Derek White, like you said, they were cold to start the season. When they're cold, the team is cold. When they're off, the team is off. They don't have that many individual scorers, so they rely so much on those two guys that when they're not on, the team suffered, unless Simons or you get those nights from Minot or those nights from Jordan Walsh
or something like that.
Yeah, that's the only way it offsets it. But if those two guys usually aren't on, they struggle. Now, they're good enough to get out of the first round. But to get out of the second round in the Eastern Conference, I don't know. You're facing more balanced teams, and the defense picks up, so it's harder to get those buckets. And after seeing the same team for a week, they start to double team the Jaylen Browns, and they try to take the ball out of his hands and force the Peyton Pritchards and Derek Whites to beat him. And I don't know if those guys are good enough to consistently do that, in a playoff series. Now, you take this team as is today, and you slide first-team All-NBA Jason Tatum into it.
Yep. Now
and you are right back into fighting for an NBA championship. And it's not taking nothing away from Jaylen Brown because he's playing magnificent. Jason Tatum added to the mix increases how good Jaylen Brown is going to be going forward because now he's not being double-teamed. Now he doesn't have the best guy on him. And Jaylen Brown, with the confidence he's playing with now, and his game being below the free throw line, the free throw line down mid-range, inside the three-point line, he keeps playing like this with Jason Tatum on the court next to him. There's not many teams that can beat them. The Thunder might be the only one because you're going to have two guys. Unlike Pritchard and Derek White, you'll have two guys that will consistently give you 25, 30 points every single night and have the ability to go for 50 at any given time. Jason Tatum opens it up for everybody. It's kind of like I can't think of a medicine or whatever, but any situation where everything is just I don't know why I'm still such a kid. Jason Tatum is like he's like Pepto-Bismol.
I'm about to say Vicks vapor rub or something.
Yeah, he's like a turbo laxative. He loosens everything up. He steps in, everything just starts flowing. He just loosens it up. And not being funny, but you'll notice immediately once he gets on the court.
Yeah.
Derek White all of a sudden is wide open. Peyton Pritchard all of a sudden is wide open. Jaylen Brown all of a sudden is getting those dunks at the rim that we seem to be lacking this season. He's not getting those wide open dunks and alley-oops. All of a sudden you see everything get loosened up. And you're like, man, what's changed? Man, Mazzulla, he's doing a great. No. It's having a guy that attracts so much attention makes it easier on everybody else. So this team, they're good enough to be top 4 in the East, which they've been. But to get past the second round against a good team is hard. But with Jason Tatum there, with the way these guys are playing and Jaylen Brown's been playing, there's nobody in the Eastern Conference that's better than them when they get Jason Tatum back.
Let's get 2 calls in before we go to break. Let's go to Chris in Hartford. Chris.
Hey, fellas.
What's up?
Leroy, Cerrone, let me tell you, 1982 at the roller skating rink. Let me tell you, Michael Jackson beat it, or Eye of the Tiger Survivor.
Really?
And I'll tell you, when I went ahead roller skating and it was dark in the middle of the day on these field trips, I'll tell you, it ruined all the white women in my life because all the sisters were out. I'll tell you, and that's who I be. You know what I'm saying? What? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, my God. What's up with Jaylen Brown's level of engagement? What do you want to say about that?
Well, I'll tell you the reason why. I just look at JB to see if he's engaged. If he's boxing out, that means his head's in the game. After Cerrone ripped him on Felger and Maz, they went on that winning streak, didn't they, Cerrone? That's what we were talking about, right?
Appreciate it, Chris. They did.
But check out the rebounding. What did I say on that day? That's the day I was called a hater. I said Jaylen Brown's better for this team when he's not getting 30, but when he's getting 25 and closer to getting triple doubles.
Yeah.
Look at his box score last night. Because somebody looked that up for me. What do you have? 9 assists, 8 rebounds, something like that. When he's balanced, they are almost unbeatable. He can rebound with those shoulders and his athletic ability. When Jaylen Brown is rebounding, playing the all-around role, a traditional small forward role, they are a very good team. And I think they're better when he's doing that than he is when he's scoring 35 and only has 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But when he's getting those all-around numbers, playing that small forward role to a T, that's when they're unbeatable. That's the role Larry Bird played. That's the role Havlicek played. That's the role Paul Pierce played. The all-around small forward role, and that's the role he has to play until Jason Tatum comes back. And then Brown now slides into the scoring role as a big 2, and Jason Tatum now becomes the all-around small forward where he was over the last few years, your number 1 rebounder and your number 1 assist man. He becomes the playmaker. Right now, Jaylen Brown, when he's the playmaker, they're tough to beat. But when he's just a scorer, they're easier to defend. And that's the call's right. When he's rebounding and passing the ball, they're tough to beat, man. It opens it up for everybody else.
All right, let's get one more caller in before we go to break. Thomas in the car. Thomas.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
What's up?
Obviously, the team, they're putting together a pretty good, start to the season. Who do you guys worry about atop the East, and who do you think needs to, really step up for us to compete with whoever we need to compete with?
All right, appreciate it, Thomas. Cerrone, what team should Celtics fans be worried about?
You got to look at the veteran teams. Detroit is good, but Detroit, I say this every year, Detroit is one of those teams that they want to prove they belong, so they come out firing when the season starts. There's always 3 or 4 teams that do that. Toronto's been one of those teams as well. And we got to prove that we belong. Only problem is second half of the season, they don't have another gear to get to. Look for the veteran teams that are kind of just chilling. The Knicks are one of them. The Knicks have the pieces. They beat you before. They have the pieces to play defense and take the ball out of Jaylen Brown's hands. But in order for the Celtics to say Tatum's not there, to say he's not there, it has to be one of the other forwards. It has to be Minot. It has to be Jordan Walsh. And they have to figure out a way to put Anthony Simons on the floor more and get the ball in his hands. He is too good to be buried on the bench and not getting his touches. He is probably your second best ISO player on this team. He doesn't need catch and shoot to get going. You got to figure out a way to get him on the court. You get him going where he can get those 25, 30-point nights. He's a 20-point-a-game guy in Portland. He can get buckets. You got to get him going. You got to get Minot and Walsh. But when Jason Tatum comes back, hopefully, but for the playoffs, it'll help get those guys going. They'll get more open looks.
All right, let's take another break. When we come back, our last.
Stay tuned for more. Now, Leroy Irvin and Cerrone battle. Leroy and Cerrone on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, Cerrone, you know what else tastes like candy?
Is it fair?
No, I'm not going to go there. Watching these video clips of Jake Paul getting rocked is like candy. I'm just cracking up. My God, when he fell to his knees and grabbed Joshua by the legs.
Like, come on, bro.
I'm going to think about that now.
So,
stand up.
A lot of people remember the Martin show. Remember when Martin was the CBC champ, the celebrity boxing champ, and he went up against Tommy Hearns? Yo, I see them that's circulating around. They're like, yo, this was the fight last night.
Pretty much.
Yo, Jake Paul stumbled backwards and then fell to his knees and hugged his legs.
Please make it stop.
That's what my kids did when they were like 4 and 5. Daddy, I'm tired. I want to go home. And they hugged my leg.
But then to stand up and get your face broken like Mortal Kombat is just so awesome.
Finish him.
In the madness.
Yes, in the madness. And this show isn't madness, but we got to end the show very soon. But before we do that, we got to do the player's call.
Y'all want to hear my player call? I think, do you want to hear the player call?
Good old Martin right there. This is the time when we take time to show love to someone in sports or in our everyday lives who, they just don't get the attention that they deserve. So with that being said, hey, George, you go first.
Oh, I appreciate that, Leroy. Batting lead off over here today. Today's player's call is for myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
My pride, my joy, my baby boy, George III. Shout out to my oldest son. Happy 7th birthday today. Daddy can't wait to be home. It's me, Daddy. Who do you look like? Who's Daddy thinking about? You already know.
Yeah.
So while I'm at it, happy anniversary to my lovely wife. Our first anniversary is tomorrow.
Yay! Congratulations.
Happy birthday to my second son, Joey, who was born 2 days from today on the 22nd.
How many kids you got?
I got 2 boys.
All right. So after tomorrow, possibly a third on the way.
Oh, no. We squared away on that.
You went snip.
Yeah.
What?
Not myself. I don't do that. But so you can see why I wanted.
I didn't mean to make you sweat and start bumbling around your words, man. It's all
good. You can see why I wanted to give it to myself today, because obviously a busy weekend. But in all seriousness, I love my family, my household.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife and kids. An important week, the most important week of my life. Daddy loves you all.
Oh man, George, we respect that. That's beautiful. Cerrone,
fantastic.
Who you got, man?
It's real quick, man. This one goes to the adults in the room. This goes to the parents. You guys are stressed. Christmas is this week. You were stressing. You looking. You got to run. You get this. You got to do that. You got to get your house right. You got to get the kids right. Take a minute for yourself.
Yeah.
Sit down. Slow down. Don't burn yourself out. Or you won't enjoy the holidays. Tell that job I ain't sending that email till next week. Till 2026. Tell them kids, I bought you 8 pairs of sneakers last year. You ain't even warm. Don't stress over these holidays to where you get off to a bad start in 2026. You do what you can from the heart.
Yep.
You give what you can, but take care of yourself, and you be able to get through these next 2 weeks and go into the new year in the right place. So since we won't be here next week, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you, and I hope you have a fantastic week.
There you go. My player's call goes out to, it's kind of a player's call in promotion. So yesterday I was in Rhode Island at Snipes and got to meet a lot of great people who came through. Lovely listeners to the show. I met this guy named Ryan. I'm going to say this, Ryan, please don't take this wrong. He looked like a short like he could have played Jesus in a play.
I used to have long hair.
But Ryan was a cool dude. I met a lot of great people. So my player's call goes out to the people who aren't afraid to show love, and they just came through. Also, tomorrow from 2 to 4, I'll be at Snipes, 1134 Broad Street. That's in Providence, Rhode Island. Oh, excuse me, 307 Broad Street, Providence, Rhode Island. Snipes. I'll be there from 2 to 4. Come on through. There'll be some tickets and stuff for things that you can win. And before anybody here at the Sports Hub starts saying, why is Leroy promoting something? It's all Beasley related. Trust me. Okay? I don't want no problems.
I don't want no smoke.
It's all Beasley related.
It's a Beasley event.
Yes. Relax. Anyways, that's it. We're out of here. We're a little bit over time.